I have to start this video with somewhat of a confession. For a long time, I was very skeptical about the idea of wearing jeans in a way that could be stylish, gentlemanly, elegant. But I've come to realize that actually I was wrong, and there is a way that a man can wear denim that looks sophisticated, that looks interesting, uniquely stylish. And personally, I've began incorporating jeans into my looks, and I feel like it's given my style a new edge that's more personal to me and feels more expressive, and I really enjoy now wearing jeans. So I thought we would go over how to wear jeans in a stylish way, some of the do's and don'ts, things to avoid, and what to wear with your jeans to create a great outfit. First, let's just touch briefly on the history of denim. There are two origins, really, of denim jeans. One is in Genoa, in Italy, and one is in Nimes, in France. And these two regions began to create this hard-wearing denim fabric around the same time, made from cotton. And the idea was that this was a working-class fabric. It was made for the farmers. It would eventually be worn by the coal miners in America. The idea is not to look particularly elegant or elaborate in the same way that an upper-class person would have done at this time. It was merely a practical fabric. So then things move over to America, and during the gold rush, men are working in the mines. Denim again serves this purpose, worn as jeans, worn as overalls. And then in the 1870s, Levi Strauss and his business partner Jacob W. Davis, they add those copper rivets around the pockets to reinforce those areas, and they really invent modern jeans as we know them. And then in 1901, they add a back left pocket to their 501 model. That's right, the 501 model has been around for over 100 years. And then they create this typical industry standard configuration that we still see today. Denim, however, didn't really enter the world of fashion and mainstream style until the 1950s. And James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause was a real turning point, introducing jeans into youth culture. We also have Marlon Brando. And we see in the 50s and 60s that there is a generation gap where young people start dressing in a way that's different to their parents. And one of those differences would have been the wearing of jeans. However, we get to the 1970s and those teenagers from the 50s are now parents themselves. And this is where jeans just become the go-to adult and teenage uniform for pretty much every American. And across the world, even in the Soviet Union, jeans are seen as a symbol of American freedom, Western freedom. So why do I have a problem with most jeans? And why did I think for a long time that jeans just weren't stylish? Well, because jeans are just the default go-to uniform, it means that they are no longer a deliberate style statement in the same way that James Dean or Marlon Brando would have worn them. And instead they are a dull, uninspired sign of uniformity and conformity. And I'd say that most men wear jeans in the same way that women wear leggings. It's the most low effort, no thought put into the outfit, shapeless. They have no regard to the way that it really fits, or the function of the fabric. They have no regard for how it looks with the other items they're wearing. And typically they will be worn with other low effort, low style items like a hoodie, running shoes, graphic t-shirts, those types of things. So if you are buying jeans, here are a few things to avoid. The first is the low-rise jean. Over the years, trouser manufacturing has moved from typically things being higher at the waist, which would be called high-rise. So in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, most trousers were always high-waisted. Over time, that's changed, partly due to fashion, partly just to save money on fabric. But the problem with low-rise jeans is that they alter the proportions of a man's body, and on the vast majority of men, they're much less flattering and also less comfortable. You also want to avoid either very skinny jeans or very baggy jeans. The very skinny jeans on a man, it looks so feminine. But at the same time, you don't want jeans that are so baggy that they hide your shape completely. You want something that's in the middle. And finally, avoid ripped jeans, distressed jeans. If we're trying to wear denim in an elegant, sophisticated way, the last thing we want is to have big holes and tears in our clothes. So here's what you want to look for instead. For the majority of men, a high-rise jean will be the most flattering. With the fit, we want something in the middle of fashion. Not too skinny, not too baggy, but still something that reveals, the shape of the leg. It creates a strong, clean set of two lines going from the hips down to the shoes. If you're only going to have one pair of jeans, I would recommend a dark wash pair. These will be the most versatile. You can wear them with many different colored shirts. They're also better to wear at nighttime than a pair of light wash jeans. Obviously, avoid the rips, avoid the tears, any studs. And I've also noticed that many men will simply wear jeans that are the incorrect size. Typically, men will wear jeans with an inseam that's too long for them. So they'll have their jeans dragging around on the floor or getting caught under the heel of their shoe. So make sure you get measured properly. And here are some photo examples of how the jeans should look. So how do you wear these jeans? What items should you style them with? Well, I personally believe you should never wear jeans without a belt. A belt really brings the whole look together. And with your shoes, boots definitely look the best. Personally, I really enjoy wearing Western boots or cowboy boots with my jeans. To me, that makes perfect sense. You could also wear a pair of Chukka boots or Chelsea boots. Yes, you can wear sneakers, maybe a pair of clean white sneakers, but here's the thing, you're already taking the formality of your outfit down by wearing jeans. I wouldn't want to take it down another notch with sneakers. At the same time, I don't personally believe that dress shoes are a particularly good fit with jeans. If you are going to wear dress shoes, then maybe some brown brogues, some brown loafers, but definitely don't wear black Oxford shoes with your jeans. It's just too much contrast. Now, of course, you could wear a t-shirt, but in my opinion, a button-up shirt or at least a polo will always elevate the look. When it comes to the brands of jeans, pretty much all of my jeans are Wrangler cowboy cut jeans. These have been around for absolutely decades. They are high-waisted, they fit nice and slim throughout the leg, but not too slim. They look great with the cowboy boots, and the value for money on these is incredible. You can pick up a pair for about $50, $60. They'll last you a long time, they're comfortable, so for me, they are by far the best bang for your buck jeans. You could also go for the Levi 501s, another very historic model, or there are some newer brands that make good quality high-waisted jeans like Buck Mason, Suit Supply, and Todd Snyder. So here is how I personally style my jeans. For me, jeans can exist on a spectrum. You can go for the rugged, casual look, or you can try and make it into kind of a business casual look. Now, sports coat and jeans has a bad reputation because it's what a lot of men do when they have to dress up, but they want to make the lowest amount of effort. And sometimes they'll just throw on, a suit jacket with their jeans and a pair of running shoes. Not a good look. If you're going to wear a jacket with jeans, a blazer, or a sports coat, it needs to have some kind of texture, okay? Or some kind of feature like the brass buttons on this double-breasted blazer that I'm wearing. In the other photo, I'm wearing a seersucker jacket, which has more of a crisp texture to it. If you wore a suit jacket, it has that slight shine from the wool. And with jeans, it's just too much of a contrast. You need texture with texture to make this look work. For that same reason, I also personally prefer to wear an Oxford shirt over a dress shirt. Again, an Oxford shirt is also less formal than a typical dress shirt, so that works with the jeans better. And if you're going to wear a tie, wear a grenadine silk tie like I am right now, or a wool tie. You don't want to wear a shiny silk or shiny satin tie. Again, too much contrast with the jeans. Now let's take a look at a few examples of men who I believe do a great job of wearing jeans in an elevated, stylish way. First we have Ralph Lauren, and he was really my inspiration behind a look that I wear quite a lot now, which is the tweed jacket with a pair of jeans and cowboy boots. Notice the belt here, how that brings everything together. He's wearing the denim shirt as well, which is quite bold. His is also very unbuttoned, and he has the collar popped over the jacket. Personally, I wouldn't do that, but again, if you're Ralph Lauren, then you can do whatever you want. But just look at the kind of rugged, yet put together, sophisticated, elegant, Western inspired. There are so many things going on here that on paper it shouldn't work, but it really does. Another great example is Austin Butler, a modern day actor. He's wearing the double-breasted navy blazer with the gold buttons like I did in this photo. And then he's paired it with a pair of light wash blue jeans and a pretty beat up looking pair of Red Wing boots. The boots and the jacket together create this kind of military inspired look, and I think the jeans really pull it all together. Or you could go for something like this one on the right, which is more of an everyday type of look, less of a style statement here, with the sweater, the shirt, and a pair of lace-up suede boots with the jeans. So here is my final advice for wearing jeans like a gentleman. Wear jeans with intention, not by proxy. Wear denim because you want to create that style statement that feels right to you, not just because you wear jeans every day anyway. Choose a classic slim fit with a high rise. That's going to look the most flattering on most men. Always wear a belt and preferably a pair of boots. You could wear, well, with most jeans, they're going to be blue, so you want something that's brown or dark brown. If you're wearing black jeans, obviously black belt and black boots. When you're adding a sport coat or a blazer, make sure there is some texture to it or a distinguishing feature like the brass buttons on the navy blazer. And most importantly, own the look. As I said, the sport coat and jeans image has a bad reputation, but that's simply because most men don't wear it well. And if you follow the advice in this video, you can definitely break that mold, and perhaps this will become a style signature for you, just like it's becoming for me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know how you feel about the presentation style. I believe it helps me convey all of the information that I need to and show some photo examples at the same time. But if you don't like it, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.